Navigating bankruptcy can be challenging, and a lot of people are talking about it. Attorney Shannon Fauver joins us again this morning to offer some clarity. Shannon, bankruptcy can be a really tough topic to talk about, but people are looking at what's ahead. And I mean, are you seeing that people are more often considering this as something that's going to be necessary in their futures?
Unfortunately, the economy hasn't gotten better in the last few years, so it hasn't really slowed down. Last couple of months have, just because people they're scared because of the pandemic and they don't know what's going to happen. But we all see an increase in bankruptcy coming, which is why some attorneys who've never filed before are now looking at filing, which is why you need to make sure you go to an attorney that's been doing this for a long time.
So how long have you been practicing? And also, where do you practice? Because as you know, WHS 11 and Great Day Live, our viewership spans into Southern Indiana as well as throughout areas in Kentucky.
I actually practice bankruptcy law, Louisville. Actually, I can practice anywhere in the state, but generally Louisville to Lake Lexington, and also practice in Southern Indiana. I've been practicing for 15 years. I started practicing bankruptcy almost at the beginning because my father used to be a bankruptcy trustee, and he suggested as an area that I could help people in.
So you know this. I mean, bankruptcy can be really emotional. It's very difficult. What is the experience like for clients, and especially for you? I mean, people are in a very vulnerable spot when they realize, okay, this is what I have to do, and there are a lot of other emotions that are attached to it.
I think for a lot of people, the deciding they have to file is actually the hardest part for them. Most people don't want to just walk away from their debt. A lot of people weren't raised that way. So them calling me is the first step in that. So there's usually either they're very anxious. They're sometimes just crying because they feel like they failed, which is not how it works. It's the way the economy is right now. And a lot of them are just relieved when they actually come in because they've taken that giant step. And I try to streamline the process as fast as possible for them, or make it as stress-free. So basically, they fill out a packet. They do a credit counseling class online, which I can give them that information, and they pay me. And I can actually get it in and out of the office in about a day if they give me all the information. And that's why I give them a little checklist. So, and then about 30 days later, we have court. Now, court right now is a Zoom call. And it will be probably for a few more months at least. They said through October, it'll be at least that way. So that should be less stressful for people since they won't actually have to go to court physically.
And so, Shannon, what are areas where you can file bankruptcy? And then what are areas where you cannot?
Okay. There are most things you can file bankruptcy on. The things that you cannot file bankruptcy on in general are student loans, child support, taxes, court costs, and intentional acts. Like if you have a car accident and it is an accident, you can bankrupt that. If you have a DUI, they don't consider that an accident. The best way I can describe it is if you run over somebody, if it's an accident, and I don't want to laugh about that, but this is the way I usually explain it is, if it's an actual accident, you can bankrupt the court, like the judgment. But if you run over like your ex, they're probably not going to believe you that it was an accident, and you will have to pay that. You do list all your creditors. You can keep things like a house and a car if you can show that you can make those payments if you bankrupt the rest of your debt. So that's part of my job, is to see if the court will accept that. Like I have to look at your finances and see if I think you can do it. And if I think you can do it, then the court generally signs off on it too.
So that allows people, if possible, to stay in their home, to keep a car, and to continue working throughout all of this, which can be really difficult. What's the best part about practicing, in that area of law for you?
Well, one of the reasons I started doing that area of law analysis of Social Security disability for the same reason is I like to help people get a clean start, which is what they're doing. I know that a lot of people, most people had to file through no fault of their own. They either got a divorce, they had medical bills, or with the pandemic going on, it's not that these people are purposefully living beyond their means, it just happens. I know, and I don't have a problem with this, it's public record. I had to file when I got divorced 14 years ago. And obviously it's fine because I own my house, I own the building the office is in. You have to be very careful about rebuilding your credit afterwards, but you can do it.
I think that says a lot, the fact that, you literally have gone through it. So, and you say this, it's a clean start.
Yes. And that's why I tell people when they come in, and I try to make it, like I said, as least stressful as I possibly can, because I've been through it and I know it's hard on people. But that's why, some people some attorneys basically give them the stuff that gets filed with the court and have them fill it out. People don't know how to do that. So I think my bankruptcy packet is like 15 pages. And basically it's a credit report and things like that. And that's really it. But I'll tell the person if they're missing something, because that's my job. Instead of having them do it for me, I do the work for it. They just have to give me the information.
Now, Shannon, if someone is they're watching this right now, and as you said, I mean, you're really looking at what people are going to do in the coming months because of what has happened with the pandemic and so much else going on. If they just have questions,
Yes.
do you encourage them? I mean, maybe bankruptcy is or is not right for me,
Right.
Just to reach out.
That's fine, because we have a new phone system. They can text the office, they can email me, they can call the office, whichever way works better for them. And again, this is a stressful thing. So some people don't really want to talk. They just want to text the question off or whatever. And I can give general answers. I can't give them specific answers without their information. Right. But I can answer general things like, yes, you do have to list your house and your car, but you may be able to keep them anyway. Like, those are the questions most people have. Also, here, you cannot file bankruptcy until you finish paying your attorney. Other states do handle it differently, but our judges make you pay your attorney first. Otherwise, you were taking out a loan to pay the attorney, and they don't like that. So, like, I take installment payments, so the day they finish paying me, we can file. I can have everything all together. So as soon as they get that last payment in, we're good to go.
And again, you've been through it, so you know exactly what it feels like. And I know that you treat your clients in that way that you would want to be treated. Thanks so much, Shannon, for joining us this morning. Fauver Law Office is located at 1752 Frankfort Avenue in Louisville. And remember, Shannon said she can practice in Southern Indiana and Louisville as well, and throughout Kentucky. You can contact Shannon Fauver and her team by calling 502-569-7710. And she also said that you can text or visit fauverlaw.com.